kick off by saying that it's great that you've had a chance to listen to the Moment hearing aids, and I was really interested to hear your response about the fact that sometimes you didn't even feel like you had them on, and you had to check you were wearing them. But I really wanted to give you an opportunity, Jeff, to pick my brains about Moment and about PureSound, and really answer all your questions.
So one of the things I'd really like to understand is, I know that you're given slightly less gain, and
Sure.
in fact, with the PureSound, you're not accessing some of the features in the way that the Universal accesses them. Okay, but yet, as I said, it delivers really, really fantastic speech understanding. What do you think is the underlying background to that? What do you think Widex's underlying understanding of why that happens is?
Okay, well, I just wanted to comment on a few things you said, because I think that there's some really interesting stuff that you pick up on. So first of all, you're an experienced hearing aid wearer, maybe not personally, but in your background, you've worn a lot of hearing aids, and your comment was that you had to check they were on, and we know hearing aids were on, or we knew hearing aids were on, because of the inherent sound of the hearing aid amplification, which was caused by the comb filter effect. That was the delay of processing through the hearing aid and the natural sound in the ear canal meeting at different times, creating this distorted waveform. That gave this underlying distortion to the sound, and that was our sort of auditory signpost, if you like, to I'm listening to a hearing aid. And even if you had different levels of amplification or different rationales, you knew a hearing aid was on because of that. And now you're missing that landmark in the sound, and it's confusing you as an experienced user in a nice way. So often, people experiencing PureSound for the first time will just touch the microphone, and then you know it's on because you hear that rubbing. So, I mean, that's a really cool way of describing what PureSound is doing. It's so transparent in its processing that you're missing the distortion, which we were using as the landmark to know that the device was on. PureSound really initially was about creating the most natural sound to have the best sound quality, because Widex is and always will be about the best sound quality, the most natural sound.
Here I am wearing something that basically, refutes everything I know to be true, okay, and is delivering me this fantastic experience. And I thought to myself, like, is that the missing link? Is the missing link? Is the missing link no delay, instantaneous representation of what my brain needs?
Right.
Oh, and that's when I started to think, like, you guys had stumbled across something here that I think perhaps moving forward could really be a line to deliver on what hearing aids should be, or hearing aids would like to be. I don't want to be dismissive of hearing aids, because hearing aids are really good at what they do, but we all know, or we all feel perhaps, they could be better. And that's kind of what really struck me from my experience was, first of all, is this the missing link, right? And if it is the missing link, woohoo! What you're saying about people outside of what you feel is the PureSound fitting range. Feedback from some of my colleagues in the States is exactly similar. They've used PureSound on people who technically are outside the range of it, and they've kind of found that quite a few of them actually really like it, and quite a few of them actually really think that there's benefit there. like I have to say, I was exceptionally impressed with it, and again, not just because it's nice, you know, because when you're around here now, you know, sometimes you can slip into just nice, you
Yeah.
know, or sometimes you wish you could slip into just nice, you
Yeah, well,
know.
this isn't a comfort program. We've had a comfort program before where we just turned everything down, where so you were still aware of the world around you, but understanding speech. Yet this is as comfortable as a comfort program. Wow, it's really turned everything down there. But but speech is still a priority, and you're still getting that speech understanding.
Yeah, and still even getting that speech understanding in you know, in complex environments.
Yeah, yeah. I also think at the other end of the audiogram, it's really interesting because we you know, as hearing care professionals, we've probably had like a lower limit where someone's come in and their hearing's really kind of been too good, and of course that's got lower and lower and lower over the years, but there still is this sort of, you know, imaginary bottom limit there, and I think to appeal to these milder and milder customers, the industry has just thrown in more consumer conscious features, you know, to make it more like a hearable, make it more like a consumer goods, to overcome some of the negativity of the sound.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
and I think the moment will really open up this bottom end of the audiogram as well,
yeah,
because even with the best hearing, you won't hear any distortion due to delay, and I know that's also exciting too, because I know the industry is adapting, and you know there's that you've got to really think about being able to supply hearing aids to more people, and also maybe for your APDs, right? You know, it's a clinically normal audiogram, yet the speech understanding scores are not great, and actually providing some amplification has proved to be beneficial to someone with APD.
yeah.
And yet they've got to put up with not the best sound quality. So that's also exciting, I think.
It really excites me. As I said, from the moment I started wearing it, and I started to get an understanding, not necessarily from the moment I started wearing it. That's a lie, right? From the moment I started wearing it, I thought to myself, what? When I started using it out and about, I really started to understand that this was very, very different. And I was getting the speech cues that I needed, as I said, even in complex sound situations, even though I didn't feel they were on. And yeah, I wrote in the article, I spent a week walking around going, this is bizarre. People were like, yeah, you told us. I'm like, but no, this is bizarre. So yeah, you know, from that time I knew that you were onto something really cool. Like, and like I said, yeah, that was the one thought I had. Like, is this the missing link? Is this the avenue of approach that, you know, we haven't taken or we've missed? You know, so yeah, like I'm really looking forward to the evolution of pure sound and where we go from here.
Very exciting. Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm hoping people are still talking to you after you scream in their faces that it's bizarre. But, of course they would. Thank you for your time, Jeff.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and always. And have a good evening.
You too. Take
Bye.
care. And cut.